highly intelligent,
charming, and a narcissist.
I am going to escape the hangman's noose.
Very sure of yourself.
Paintings are all in one small gallery on the second floor. Paintings come off the wall.
They're cleaning up in there.
Hello and welcome to the film show here on Arts 24. I'm joined by our film critic Emma Jones. Nice to see you.
Hello.
Well, you'll be taking us through some of the new releases this week. First, though, let's begin with Les Césars, France's most prestigious cinema awards. This year's nominees have been announced. Emma, take us through the highlights.
Oh, yes, indeed. Well, leading the pack is American director Richard Linklater. He has 10 nominations for his black and white film in French, Nouvelle Vague. Now, this is about the making of the film that launched the French New Wave, Breathless. And it should be stressed that this movie, as well as being in French, was also made in France. So the nominations include Linklater for Best Director. It's also up for Best Film. And Guillaume Marbeck, who plays a young Jean-Luc Godard, he's up for Best Male Newcomer. And there are a lot of nominations in the technical categories too. I love that film, by the way. Then you've got L'Attachement by Corinne Tardieu. That's got 8 nominations. And this stars Italian actress Valeria Bruni Tedeschi as Sandra. Now, she's a woman in her 50s, and she finds herself drawn to her next-door neighbour and his child. She has a deserved Best Actress nomination, and it's also up for Best Film, as is a Cannes competition favourite from France. Now, this is Dossier 137 by director Dominic Moll. It has 8 nominations too, so it's nominated for Best Film, Best Director. Leah Drucker, she's got a Best Actress nomination for her role as a police officer. Got to say, well deserved. That Best Actress category is going to be a really interesting one. Now, another film in competition at Cannes last year, La Petite Dernière by Hafsia Herzi, that's got 7 nominations. Now, that's a very interesting exploration of a Muslim woman exploring her sexuality. Another personal favourite of mine is François Ozon's updated interpretation of L'étranger, or The Stranger. That's the Albert Camus classic. That's got 4 nominations, and Benjamin Voisin has a much-deserved nod, I feel, for Best Actor.
Well, any surprises then out of these nominations?
Well, actually, yes. I think the biggest surprise may be Jaffa Panahi. It was just an accident, only getting 2 nominations. Now, this is because it is France's Oscar entry. You know, it was made with French money. It is, though, nominated for Best Film, so prestigious category, and Best Original Screenplay. I'd have thought he's got quite a good chance at that.
Okay, well, an honorary César this year will be going to Jim Carrey. The ceremony will be taking place in Paris on February 26, hosted by French actress Camille Cotin. Now, moving on to the new releases of the week, let's start with James Vanderbilt's Nuremberg. Russell Crowe and Rami Malek star as a Nazi commander and an army psychologist, respectively. They're playing mind games at the Nuremberg trials of 1945. Now, Emma, we rarely see Russell Crowe in a leading role these days. What do you think drew him to this one?
Yeah, interesting. I think the sheer weight of playing a preening narcissist in Hermann Göring, Hitler's right-hand man, probably attracted him. And no pun intended when I say weight, because in this movie, Göring is physically vast, as well as dominating the screen whenever he's there with his unsettling charisma. Now, Vanderbilt is the writer of David Fincher's film Zodiac. That's another intense battle of wits. And he based the story on the 2013 book, The Nazi and the Psychologist. Now, this is the true story of Rami Malek's character, Douglas Kelly, a psychologist who was sent to make sure that Göring was fit to stand trial at Nuremberg.
Okay, well, it sounds like a fascinating delve into history. Let's take a look at Nuremberg.
You are standing inside a secret military prison. It houses what's left of the Nazi high command.
Hey! Never do that in my prison again.
The governments of Russia, France, Great Britain, and our United States will put these men on trial for their lives.
It can't be done. There's no international law to base the charges on.
The world needs to know what these men did.
The one you'll have to watch the closest is Göring.
He's highly intelligent,
charming, and a narcissist.
I am going to escape the hangman's noose.
Very sure of yourself.
No man has ever beaten me.
Now, Emma, I can't wait to see this one at the cinema, and not least of all because of its star-studded cast. I saw Michael Shannon as U.S. prosecutor Robert Jackson. There's Richard E. Grant, my favorite Leo Woodall. John Slattery as well, who I love. Not many female stars, though.
No, it is a very male movie, and I suppose it's understandable when you think that there are limited scope for female roles for a story about these trials. Although any brief appearance by female characters on screen does feel very two-dimensional. I have to say the film also feels quite traditional, even stodgy as a history movie, and I'm thinking about something like Jonathan Glazer's extraordinary work, The Zone of Interest, and the way that was made, and that's about Nazi life adjacent to Auschwitz. But the dark, sombre production design and cinematography does manage to convey that message of pervasive evil. A very effective scene, I feel, is when quite horrifying documentary footage of Holocaust victims is shown at the trial. And I've heard an anecdote that Vanderbilt offered not to show the footage to the actors beforehand. And I think that some of the shock you see on those faces in the film is actually real.
So they were like discovering it in real time as well. Now, this film was tipped as an awards contender. It hasn't quite happened that way. Why do you think that is the case?
I think it feels more like a TV movie, really, rather than actual something with cinema scope. And that's despite what Russell Crowe does undoubtedly bring to the screen.
Okay. Well, next up, American author Kelly Reichardt's The Mastermind premiered in competition at last year's Cannes Film Festival. This film stars Josh O'Connor as a sort of clueless art thief undertaking a heist in 1970s Massachusetts. Let's take a look.
Well, you seem to have a good amount of time on your hands.
Did you know the kids don't have school today?
Why can't they be with you?
I've got things to do.
What things? Like what?
Paintings are all in one small gallery on the second floor. Paintings come off the wall,
They're cleaning up in there.
go into the cases, down to the waiting car.
JB?
Yeah, the guys are here. They're leaving in a minute. You don't look like cops.
It looks very offbeat. What did you make of it, Emma?
Classic Reichardt, definitely. Well, I think we're a bit spoiled for choice in terms of watching Josh O'Connor be outstanding on the screen right now, whether it's watching the latest Knives Out on Netflix or that he's starring opposite Paul Mescal in the wonderful film by Oliver Manus called The History of Sound. Now, Josh O'Connor's also riveting and the reason probably to watch The Mastermind. So Reichardt's last film was called Showing Up. It starred Michelle Williams and it was about the art world and really the more banal aspects of the art world to a certain extent. And this is a very banal art theft, I suppose you could describe it, by O'Connor's character James. Now, he's a wannabe art player, he has rich parents, and he's lacking the self-knowledge to know that he's really not up to this game at all. I mean, the art he steals is not even extremely valuable art for starters, but the heist is based upon a real-life theft that took place in 1972 in Massachusetts, hence the setting. And this is not Ocean's 11. It's not that comic or exciting.
It's not slick.
No, exactly. It's really Kelly Reichardt's style, imagining an unravelling of a character and a robbery.
Well, life imitated art because just after the film premiered, the spectacular heist at the Louvre made headlines around the world. Kelly Reichardt told France 24's Olivia Winspear-Salazar about how that felt.
Well, it was very nice timing because it was right when my film was opening around the rest of the world, not in France yet. Yeah, so that was but fascinating that it still goes on. I mean, art thievery just always continues.
Oh, that was really interesting hearing about that. And yeah, definitely worth a watch. But, you know, even James going on the run doesn't go very, very well. It is an act of selfishness on his part because he's married with children. His wife, by the way, is played by Alana Haim. And it just really emphasises that this whole act is about a very self-absorbed man-child.
Let's look now at a movie that premiered at last year's Berlin Film Festival. It's called Dreams. It stars Jessica Chastain in her second collaboration with Mexican director Michel Franco. Their first was called Memory, in which Jessica Chastain starred alongside Peter Sarsgaard. Dreams, though, is quite a different film, isn't it?
Yeah, this is an icy dissection of wealth and privileges attitudes towards immigrants. So Chastain is outstanding as Jennifer. Now, she's part of a wealthy family in San Francisco. There are generous art patrons, but it's really her father and her brother who run the show. So Jennifer tries to be powerful with an act of rebellion. She starts an affair with a Mexican ballet dancer called Fernando, but it unravels when he illegally enters the USA in order to be with her. Let's take a look.
Thank you. I want to thank my beautiful daughter, Jennifer, who soldiered by my side and helped make this foundation work the way it should.
I saw you outside. You were talking to a dancer on the street.
He is so talented. He's from Mexico. Maybe you could help him.
I'll see if the foundation can help.
I got deported from New York. What happened after you got deported? I crossed through San Antonio.
Oh, honey.
All you really want me to do right now is to turn you around, slap your ass, and kiss your neck.
Well, the film features a remarkable debut for Mexican ballet dancer in real life, Isaac Hernandez, who's playing Fernando. The scenes of illegal immigration over the Mexican border almost feel slightly dated by now when you think of current events in the US. But Franco does capture them with documentary-like precision, or what feels like it. However, Dreams is more of an erotic thriller with a touch of social realism. You know, the passion between Jennifer and Fernando is very real, but she only wants life with him on her terms. It's all power play.
Okay, well, let's end then with Hassan Hadi's The President's Cake, one of your favorite films, Emma.
It is.
It's the first Iraqi film to be long-listed for the Oscars. It was the first ever Iraqi film to show at Cannes as well. It showed in the director's fortnight at Cannes last year. It also picked up the Caméra d'Or for a first-time director. Emma, I know you love the film.
Yeah.
Tell us why you love this film.
Yeah, I was so affected watching it, and a lot of other people liked it because it picked up the People's Choice Award at Cannes too. It's based upon Hassan Hadi's own remembrances of his childhood in 1990s Iraq. Everyone has to celebrate Saddam Hussein's birthday, of course, the dictator at the time. Now, baking a birthday cake for the village falls to the poverty-stricken Lamia. Brilliant child actor, Benin Ahmed Naif. She plays the role. She lives with her fierce grandmother, Bibi. So she and her friend Saeed must navigate the big bad city trying to get these ingredients to make this cake. Now, at Hadi's insistence the film was made in Iraq, I feel that the cinematography is spellbinding also. And the film feels like a wicked fairy tale as these children go through the big city, and seemingly all the characters they meet are hard and unscrupulous after years of life under Saddam Hussein. It's sometimes hilarious, but ultimately heartbreaking.
Thank you so much, Emma, for that roundup of all the films you should be watching this week. Thank you for watching. We'll leave you with a glimpse at The President's Cake. More news coming up on France 24.
اما الطالب المميز اللي راح يكون يجيب لنا الكيكه مال الاحتفاليه راح يكون لميحه احمد نايف.
كتبي تسبيحه ثمان هنود كيالي وطحين بابا رزق ومشت كوايد وتنفش كيكتنا.
خايف من باكر؟
لازم اسوي الكيكه.